with anything? Yeah. Okay, we're going to hand it over to the Imam, who's president of Peoria for Palestine.
We are most definitely disappointed that this important question will not be put to the voting population of Peoria for review. As a grassroots organization, we believe that public deliberation about social justice and the use of public money is essential to any functional democracy. While we are certainly disappointed, we are not surprised that many would act on behalf of this anti-democratic sentiment, silencing difficult conversations in an effort to obscure truths which we are all directly implicated in, prolongs and exacerbates division. It does not prevent it. It also allows the true source of the division, unhinged violence by a US-backed rogue state, to continue to go unaddressed. We did not come here tonight to settle the question of terminology. Organizations such as Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, Doctors Without Borders, and numerous other research and civil society organizations, as well as people in occupied Palestine, which is known as Israel, and Palestinian historians such as Rashid Khalidi and others have also supplied us with accurate language to describe the reality of this brutal occupation. Genocides happen because normal people act in ways designed to promote normalcy. They act in ways designed to promote normalcy during atrocity. But normalcy is impossible during a genocide. So congratulations on doing your small part to facilitate the unfolding of this one. We are all connected to Palestine by the fact of our humanity and by the fact of our responsibility for the behavior of our government. We look forward to continuing to help Peorians educate themselves about this issue, and as always, free Palestine.
God is great.
Could you spell your first and last name and your title, please?
God is
Mazhar
great.
Patel,
God is
Mazhar, actually Mahmood, Mazhar Mahmood, Mazhar, last name Mahmood, Mahmood. The title is Imam, IMAM, and I'm the president for Peoria for Palestine.
You used the phrase anti-democratic in your statement, but my question would be, how could you feel it was anti-democratic when there was a vote tonight and you happened to just lose the vote?
A vote to not put an item onto the November ballot to suppress voices and the actual thoughts of what Peorians perhaps want to vote for or want to vote against, for that matter, that in itself is anti-democratic.
Was the vote tonight anti-democratic?
In my understanding, it was very exclusive to people who perhaps got their community, Zionists perhaps, or other communities that they attracted to come to a particular area, and others who don't have a sense of, public activism or responsibility of what it means to be civic rights individuals, or people who are Samaritans, or people who just don't care. Maybe the word didn't get out to them at all. So it was just a numbers game tonight at the end of the day.
A good amount of the opposition was people saying that the township was not the right place to do this. First off, why did you go the township route to try to get the referendum on the ballot for them?
At the end of the day, it's a merit issue. We speak for all of humanity. As I've mentioned before, if somebody across the street is facing injustice, or somebody across the world is facing injustice, we as humans and Samaritans of this land, we need to act equally in that regard. And at the end of the day, it is a township issue, it is a Peoria issue at the end of the day, when our dollars are funding this genocide. So it directly or indirectly, if not directly, indirectly, it becomes an issue.
Do you feel reaching out to federal legislators has not been enough at this point?
I don't feel that the federal legislators are speaking on behalf of the population, because these marches, these protests, these constant phone bombings that they faced, at the end of the day, have not changed their stance, and they haven't spoken the words of people. Rather, they've spoken to the dollars that they're getting from some APAC or other organization which is funding their campaigns.
Good amount of the opposition as well was the wording and the language of the referendum. Can you talk about how that question was developed, why that wording was used in it?
Like we mentioned, that this is not new wording. This is not exclusive to Peoria for Palestine. These wordings have been used by these giant organizations who are not grassroots organizations, but literal facilitators of advocating human rights across the world. You know, may it be Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, Doctors Without Borders, other human rights figures who are known for their humanity and justice. They've used the exact same language.
Is there anything you would have done differently to try to get more people in favor of the referendum tonight?
I believe there's lots of work to do in that regard, and I believe community advocacy is where we commence, where we need to literally wake up people to the situations that are occurring around the world, and perhaps without them knowing, you know, they are funding these nonsensical elements, these genocides around the world. At the end of the day, I think it's more of a reaching out, you know, outreach in this matter, where people actually come to their senses and realization of what's actually going on, rather than a few individuals suppressing the voices of the majority, which knows the truth but hasn't realized the truth.
Will there be more attempts to try to get the referendum on the ballot, whether you come in front of the township again, or maybe you try the city or the county board? Is there more attempts in the future planned?
The efforts are perpetual, either by means of referendums or marches or protests or just one-on-one empowering. The efforts are at a constant. They'll never stop. So you'll see much more happening in this regard, and hopefully, you know, these individuals today who voted nay, we're optimistic that once they sort of realize the truth of what's going on and the realities facing Muslims, Christians, and Jews who are anti-Israel and who are facing massive torture in that land, hopefully they themselves, the naysayers, will become yay-sayers.
We saw some city council members vote nay tonight. Do you have anything you want to say to the city council members who voted nay? I think there was 7 voted nay.
I don't think any of them actually voted.
No, they did.
Few of them.
No one voted for us, right?
Denise
Denise
Jackson.
Jackson.
Denise Jackson did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that choice?
Mom, I have a very simple question.
Yes.
Just a couple years ago, do you think something like this would have been possible?
No.
No.
A couple of years ago, sorry, referring to what?
Just the ability to get this on the agenda, and then also
No.
for 67 people to come out
That
and
in
vote for
itself
it.
tells you that the trajectory of the past has shown that people have woken up. To get this far and to come to city council and to come to the township meeting and to exercise, you know, such an important item to hopefully be, you know, on the November ballot, that in itself was not dreamed of, but it happened. And hopefully, you know, as a man of faith, we are told that after days of hardship there will be ease. So I really confide in that, and that remains as a motivation for us to continue on thriving.
Thank you.
I'm good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We agitated the community today, and we made them think of what we think of. I congratulate the other side who won. It was a democratic way to do it. But we're at the beginning of this conflict here, and it is just one battle. We have seen many of these before, and I'm glad that we can talk today, beginning from now on. Democracy is not being served well in Peoria. We say something, and on the news the next day we hear something else. Hopefully, we start the democracy beginning from today, and there is a long way ahead of us. we're still for it. Thank you.